Hi, Misha here, and a few months ago did a video on this fine carbine here. This is a Colt 6450. This is a semi-automatic 9mm AR15 based weapon, and it's essentially the same as the Select Fire R633 with its 10.5-inch barrel used by the Marine Corps and others. And it's a fun gun and was commercially available and still is today, at least officially, in an updated form as the 6951. But this one down here was never really made available, at least as a complete semi-automatic firearm. This is Colt's R633 model, what they kind of nicknamed the Briefcase Gun, and what many of us know as the Department of Energy gun, the DOE gun. And this is a very specialized version of the 9mm submachine gun. So with that, let's show some range footage from this shoot and some recent range footage from this one. And we'll come back and talk about how they are similar and different, and just some other tidbits. Why not?
Colt 9mm. Not bad for a factory trigger. Colt 9mm.
Both are a lot of fun and really 100% reliable. This is a late 80s or very early 90s Colt. This here is a Colt upper on a Rock River lower, and it's built as a pistol with an SB3 arm brace. This is still on the original 2-position extension, and these always had the Fiberlight style AR15 stock, not the metal. That's because the Colt 9mm really did not come to be until the 1980s. Some experiments, mostly by third parties, have been done with making a 9mm AR15 in the 70s, but work did not begin, kind of spearheaded by Hank Tetrell at Colt, until 1982, and this system wasn't commercially available until at least 1985. And it was based on the CAR 15. It just has a direct blowback bolt. It's a heavy weighted bolt, but they did not need to do a locking system because of 9mm. They had to do a magwell insert. They use a heavy buffer, A1 type upper receiver, no gas tube under the carbine length handguards, and originally the barrel would have ended about right here. And these feed from either 25 round or 32 round magazines that are essentially copies of the Uzi mag. Double stack, double feed. Like I said, the U.S. Marine Corps adopted the 9mm with the 10.5-inch barrel as the 9mm SMG. But this is really primarily designed for police and security who wanted an AR-15 but did not want the risk of over-penetration of 5.56. And that held doubly true when the Department of Energy was looking for a new weapon to give to their security forces operating in and around nuclear facilities, where I'm sure you can imagine overpenetration would not be a good thing. And around 1986, they interviewed this gun and the HK MP5K, and they ultimately decided to go with this gun, the R633. In the rear, it would be the same fiberlight stock, 2-position tube, upper receiver with the large gas deflector but no forward assist, A2 pistol grip, and then specialized 9mm sights with 2 positions. The difference is in the front. This has a shortened handguard section. Actually, this was borrowed from the old port firing gun, these handguards. They're A1 style because you know, they're side to side, not top to bottom. Then we have a specialized end cap with a folding adjustable front sight, sling swivel on the bottom, and the barrel ends here. It is not threaded on a DOE. It just ends. The overall length with the stock collapsed in was 21 inches with a 7-inch barrel. And the overall weight was under 6 pounds. Hence why it was kind of the briefcase gun. It's just cool. It's just neat. And it's true issue. Most of your AR pistols out there are not military police issue. This was decidedly so. The reason I went with this lower is because the Rock River lower, I needed a Virgin and or pistol lower to build this upper on. And it's one of the few that still takes Colt pattern magazines. Most of your AR lowers today are Glock mag, which is fine. For one thing, I already had Colt 9mm, so I didn't want to go to different mags. Plus, these mags work. And I wanted as close to spec gun as I could get away with. And with the SB3 brace as an option, it means the rear end can be right. I even put on a kind of an old school style washer to hold the extension on. Even got an old school A2 grip. Now the R633 uses a heavy buffer. For the machine guns, it was actually a 2-piece, kind of an agitated head style. The R633 HB used a hydraulic buffer that I don't have. So there was a version of this with a hydraulic buffer even. Apologies that we don't have any more range footage. This was from that trip where the SD card ate itself, so only one clip survived, but it's always 100% reliable with brass and steel case. I found the key with these is just to use Colt, aka Handguard magazines, and they work fine. Building a Colt 9mm AR, there's a few things to keep in mind. For one, it's not a bad idea to use stainless steel hammer trigger pins, especially hammer. Also, the buffer is important, and if you can put a spacer in there to keep it from over traveling, that helps reduce wear on the catch. The design was never 100% perfected, I guess I would say, but it was good enough and has served. The DOE used these throughout the 90s and the 2000s. And then some uppers were sold off as surplus, 5-10 years ago, I guess? I don't know. A while back. Maybe more. Time flies. And reproduction barrels and assemblies are made as well. And since most of these parts are standard, it's kind of a fun, rewarding little build to do. Or you could always just find one of the Colt factory carbines with the 16-inch barrel. Again, they've done several versions over the years, kind of keeping up with modern traditions, like the newer ones have the Picatinny rail and what have you. You just don't hear much about these, and it's a shame Colt never really did AR-15 pistols, because this would have been a hit, I think. Anyway, it's a gun I enjoy shooting. It's just good old 80s PCC fun. If you have any questions or comments, please do post them. And if you'd like to help support the channel, please check out the link to our Patreon page. This is Misha, and we'll catch you very soon next time.